beef, you can still go and eat beef, still eat non-vegetarian, there's no problem. And also you can just call yourself an religious person, there's no wrong in it. People put God as an authority figure just to the the God is just a coping mechanism for them. And I'm just gonna tell you the method to overcome it. And I learned this method from, it's not a single method, I compiled it, and by gathering a lot of knowledge and just compiling it together, it formed like, it also learned from by Fred from the psychology, no, is like a psychologist, but the book name is The Civilizations and its Discontents. It was told by Fred, and Charlie Morgan is a marketing. He just have a marketing agency, and he put some YouTube videos rarely sometimes. And Amazon, you know who Samsung is. If you don't, just go search it. And the method to overcome is what we call as first principles. That is actually just a method of thinking. In this, there are two types of thinking. But before that, I need to drink water. The first principle, just trying to invoke my team. I know it looks so cringe in the videos, but I'm just trying to improve my speaking skills and also my thinking skills. Yeah, I've actually improved a lot in the psychology and philosophical things, but I really need to improve my speaking skills. So, in order to improve my leadership, speaking is a really a key important thing. So, there are two ways of thinking. One is the analogy, and the second thing is the first principles. What is the analogy is I haven't even created it, right? Okay, just let me tell you. The analogy thinking is used by mostly of poor people. Not pro, it's poor people. Poor and stupid people use this. By poor and stupid, who doesn't actually know what they were talking about. They use this thinking method. They just use this method of thinking called as analogy. For example, I'm sorry to say this, but it is sometimes true. So just go and ask your mom about something, and she just say like, no, you shouldn't. For example, you skip the same beef thing. So just go and ask your mom, can I eat beef? Especially if you are in Indian, okay. For you, it can be some. Think of some other things. Probably you have your own brain. If you ask your mom, like, can I eat beef? And she says like random shit about you. Of course, she's gonna swear at you, and she gonna tell like, no, you can't. And you ask why? She may say like, it will cause cancer. And if you ask her how she know it, then she will say like, that is what said in the news. The thing is that people don't search for an answer. It doesn't. The people in the analogy thinking or doesn't actually want to really know the answer, the actual reason why it is said, what it is being said. They just tell it like, cause it is being said like it. Cause he said, the king said, cause he said. It is said in a newspaper or something like that. But the first principle is used by the rich people, and not only rich people. I mean, the rich people I'm considering here is not the people who inherited their wealth from their parents, but those who actually implemented those tactics to gain wealth. I'm actually trying to convey here, and I need to open it first, religious. Okay, for before this, I need to tell you about The first principle, what is first principle is, and the second method of thinking is the first principles. For this, I'm just the beef and non-veg is just giving an example. Like I just said, also, like I just said, we are not allowed. My mom doesn't allow me to eat beef, and also in some particular days, when there are days of no moon days, where the moon doesn't appear, it will be black. That is called as lunar eclipse, right? Yeah, I guess it is. Okay, during those days, that happens once in a month, right? And during those days, we are not supposed to eat non-veg. Not only on the night, also on the daytime, we are not supposed to eat non-veg throughout the day. And if you just think about it in the first principles law, the first principle is deconstructing what it is said into the core elements. For example, if you just take this pen, if you can really recreate this pen without spending a lot, this is a little bit of price anyways, but if you just see it, it just has an nip like it, and you can actually remove it. uh, uh, I can put it back. I was scared a little bit, and it is magnetic. And actually, these are the key components of it. You can actually reconstruct it from by deconstructing it to the basic core elements. You can reconstruct it back, and that is what first principle is. And in here, there's beef and non-veg example is what you're gonna, what you want to, what you're supposed to learn is. I just want to make sure it is recording. I just wanted to make sure that whether it is being recorded or I was just talking with no one. Okay, the beef and non-veg during the no moon days. What is the reason that our ancestors had done that was? If you just think with some amount of common sense, you can literally figure out what it is, why it is being like it. During the no moon days, during those night times, there will be no light. I mean, that is not even moon present, so it will be so much darker. But some wild animals can see us, so they will be come there and attack us if we had ate meat. If we had ate meat throughout the day, there will be some smell of it. Of course, there's going to be some smell of the meat. So the wild animals, like it can be a tiger, lion, and wolf, it can just smell it and come to us during the night times. So it will be creating a lot of dangers for our ancestors. So during those days, our ancestors are made like we shouldn't supposed to eat those things, and the kids will be like, most of the kids will be like, no, why shouldn't I eat meat like that? And that time, like I said, the society doesn't let you express yourself and use religion as a tool. So our ancestors used the religion as a tool to make and create an illusion, and you shouldn't eat non-veg during the day because it is being like a god's thing and something like it. And because of that, the people feel like it is being said by an authority figure to them. So mostly the people will just obey the authority figure, and because of it, the you can clearly understand for nowadays it is not that is an outdated thing. You can literally eat non-veg, so even if I eat non-veg, there won't be like a wolf or a tiger will come into my house and just gonna fight with me. I better be kill it. I need to be stronger, right? And the second thing is the reality, and that is what the first principle is. You need to clearly understand it, and I'm just going to give you more and more examples and theory, practically applicable the things that you can clearly understand it. Okay, there are the reality is of two types. One thing is objective reality and subjective reality. Let me just draw it. The objective reality is the actual what the fuck it is. The objective reality is the actual truth. The actual truth that you can't even argue with, which may be like, for example, in mathematics, 1 plus 1 equals 2. You can't argue that it is not true that 1 plus 1 is like 3. If it thought like 1 plus 1 is equal to 3, then all of your mathematical calculations will be wrong. So that is what the objective reality is. that is that is the actual truth in the universe. And the subjective reality is our knowledge upon the things that we have. For example, even in this first principle, I used it to break down the non-veg thing, and during our no moon days and some other things. You can clearly understand that that is our knowledge, and this is the actual truth. And let me draw you. I can't actually make that diagram like here, so I'm just going to draw here. So this is okay. This is the actual truth, and this is our knowledge. You see, there isn't being an overlapping between the actual truth and our knowledge, and that is what our knowledge is, being the actual truth. Like we know that 1 plus 1 equals to 2, and that is our knowledge, and which is also the actual truth. So that is the overlapping thing, and the more amount of the overlapping that occurs, when most of our knowledge and the actual truth is being overlapped with each other, that is when we that can be when most of the decisions are being right, and whatever the things that you say is being actually socially, internationally not okay. It is a wider on truth that can be applicable to many things, which can that is what it is. Okay, you can understand it clearly. The subjective truth, that your knowledge, when you are actually improving the knowledge, you will actually just lead to the objective, the actual truth. So that is what the reality is. And the analogy, for this analogy we just said, and don't forget the use of Thanatos. Like I said, you need to remember each hour. Okay, what are the things that religion puts upon you? Not only religion, whatever the things. Maybe it's like maybe it's just like buying a phone. In your mobile, they say like they have multiple features, lot of amount of features, but just break down into the core principles. What is the real actual thing that you need? Just maybe need a good camera, and a good storage space, and a little bit of RAM to invoke it, and so that you can just go and find a phone at that thing only. Don't have to overcomplicate it. This has some AMOLED display, it's an OLED display, and some other things. You just need to break down it to the core components and find what you actually needed. And I'm just using this first principle is actual and rule. It is an law. This is a thinking analogy method, not an analogy. It is a thinking method. And when you apply that on the religion, when you apply on the illusion that caused by the religion, you can actually overcome most of the obstacles, the stupid, mostly the stupid things they tell us to do. And don't forget the use of Thanatos. Like I said here, the human desires are of two types: the eros and Thanatos. The eros are the pleasure and the connection thing that make you like that makes you want to feel connected, that makes you want to be connected with other people. And that is what I'm gonna teach in most of my videos. I'm just using the little bit of Thanatos here, and just being using a little bit. And Thanatos is the aggression and domination, that you want to dominate other peoples, that you truly want to dominate each and every human beings. and truly want it, but not in a certain way. I just want to be a good leader, and use your aggression for it. What I mean, and you need to use. You shouldn't abandon your Thanatos desire. If you just abandon it, your life feels so much emptier. You can't able to do many things. Like you can't feel the zestful, the energy in you. Then you always be feel like that you will always be like so much sad, depressed, and doesn't even like yourself. And those are the cost of the individual freedom that is caused by the religion and also the society that doesn't let you express yourself. If you just doesn't let your okay, if you just doesn't let your Thanatos, you will lose the most of your desire for living, and most important those are the two things that let you to live. As a human being, you have the deepest desire to connect with people, that is eros. And the religion sometimes, for especially our religion and in my country, the society doesn't let you express your sexuality, and you can't be able to express your feelings to other people, and you can't connect normally. And I truly want to solve that problem, and that is the reason why I made this YouTube channel. And the Thanatos is the domination, and that is why I'm also made this channel. Anyways, that is the core desire for my business, and that each and every human being, every man should have it in their core deepest dark desire, and you should have it. You maybe want to express it in a little bit amount of time, little bit, but you don't have to be totally uncracked and do like an follow most of your country's laws, bro. That is it. But don't be a bitch, like obeying each and everything the people say. Like whatever the people say, like say those things, break it into the first principles, and you know what to do. And or you can still be religious. After all of the things, you may feel like, oh, I don't want to be religious, I want to be an atheist. No. Religion is made to control human beings from being a cannibal. If you read the book, The Odd Times Create Strong Men, it talks more about the religion, but not in this illusion kind of way, not in the psychological kind of way. It tells about in the philosophical and historical notes about that book, about religion. It tells that religion is actually a tool that is used to control people, right? That is used to make the society and civilization used it to doesn't let you express yourself totally fully, and being a cannibal, just killing each and every man because you just wanted to dominate, you just let you to rape the woman even in your own tribe. That is a problem, and that will make a lot of chaos in the society. And civilization is a really good thing. I'm not talking bad about society or the civilization. I'm just talking bad about you, cause you just hasn't been thinking like in the first principles and thinking in the you doesn't have the rational thinking. Or you can still be religious, have the oceanic feeling alone. In that book, this book by the civilization and discontents, in the first topic, Fred said about the oceanic feeling. The feeling that even in your religion, I'm a religious person by anyways, by only in the means of the oceanic feeling, I most of the times I feel. When I feel like God, not I feel like God, when I think about God, I feel like an empty, a long, big ocean feel. Just brings so much calmness to mind, and that is the oceanic feeling. You also experience it most of the times, and you need to have the oceanic feeling. And in that book alone, even in the book, it is said that one may rightly call oneself religious on the ground of his oceanic feeling alone, even though one reject all beliefs and all illusions. If you just, even if you reject all the illusions of your religion, like you can't eat beef, you can't eat non-veg, or some other shit like it, but you just consider this oceanic feeling alone, you can still consider yourself a religion. And I'm a religious person in this kind of way. And this is said by Dr. Fred, and not only him, also one of my favorite man, Swami Vivekananda, and I truly like him. And I have his little bit. It's not a picture; it's a little bit of statue, like a toy, a monument. It doesn't know exact word, but I just keep it here in my table. And I truly love his words and what are the things that it teaches. It says, "Don't be a bitch and build some muscle and be a strong man." Like this, he's a monk, and he's supposed to. He says like, eat the food that is required to build some muscles, build some strength. You are not supposed to be weak. Don't be a weak. Weakness is death. Strength is alive. That is what he says. So on basis of it, for basis of him, he also is the most religious person. But he doesn't go on. He doesn't talk about the God. He talks about the oceanic feeling that you are the God. That you are the soul. That you can create anything. But you are just wasn't doing it because of the illusions that put upon you by our religion as a tool. The society put on us to control us, because we doesn't want to become a cannibal. That's a good thing, but at the cost of the individual freedom and the cost of the individual development, that is the cost that you are paying. So you want me to summarize what I was trying to convey to you? Whatever the things that you want to think in the first principles. Break it down into core components. You can just search for the video by Charlie Morgan. Yeah. He's an SMMA agency owner. Just search in YouTube Charlie Morgan first principles, and his video pop off is like a British dude with a weird haircut, and you can clearly understand the first principles more briefly. It tells in more brief, you can clearly understand it. And this is what the oceanic feeling is. And oh my god, I've been talking like for an hour. You can reject all the beliefs, but still have the oceanic feeling alone. And you can call yourself being a religious person. Of course, I'm still gonna go on the vacations during those festivals. I'd be happier. I'd be happy to eat all of the things. But if the things makes me happy, I will take it. If the thing doesn't make me happy, I reject it, no matter what it is. I'm not an Epicurean. I doesn't seek happiness from cheap things like alcohol or cigars or junk foods. You know what is my happiness comes from? Uh, you can literally understand from the video that I taught about in my course. That the course link is in the description, which is just an actually a beta try of how I can create courses on the internet and just trying out. And it is a very good course about how to make people instantly like you. That maybe not, it's like a stupid pitch to pitch this thing in this video, but anyways, okay, that is it. And by now you can clearly understand my pain, the existential crisis that I before understanding this concept of using the first principles and thinking like it and overcoming those things and being the oceanic feeling alone and reject all the beliefs and all illusions. I don't reject all the beliefs, of course, like for the sake of society, for the sake of my people in my house. I don't reject all of the beliefs. but yeah, some few of the beliefs. I still go to temple anyways. The thing is, I feel a little bit light author. Cause before it just give me existential criticism. Say like, what is the reason of the religion? What is the reason of I'm being in a religion? It doesn't let me improve myself. Religion is supposed to help the persons grow spiritually and mentally and also physically in a healthy way. But my religion doesn't let me, and I was so much sad cause of it. And I was thinking like why other religions allow the but my religion was being like it. And I found out the reason that I need to just have the oceanic feeling. And thus I had the first principles tactic used upon this non-veg thing, and I can overcome those beliefs. I'm actually really happy, and also I am sharing this with you. I know which time you will be seeing this video, but whenever you see it, take some good use of it. You need to take action, anyways. But this is it. It made me take me like a lot of research, and I've been reading a lot of books and consuming a lot of good quality content, so I can produce something as valuable as this. I'm actually feeling grateful for this. Okay, anyways, see you. Bye.